On the table in front of me is the newest head-mounted display from TCL. And as you all know, I don't really use them as augmented reality glasses. I use them as a large display for my laptop or handheld gaming systems. So is this newest revision something that you should consider, or are there better options already on the market? Let's find out. Welcome back to Craft Computing, everyone. As always, I'm Jeff. So this is the TCL NXTWEAR S, the latest heads-up display augmented reality set of glasses from TCL. And if you've watched much of my channel, you know that I absolutely love devices like this. What we have here is a pair of Micro OLED displays, each with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and a claimed 201-inch screen size at a distance of 6 meters, because everyone knows what a 510-centimeter screen looks like from 19.5 feet away. For those playing the home game, it's roughly a 45-degree field of view. Like a lot of these glasses that are using OLED displays, these ones have up to 400 nit of brightness and a 60 Hz refresh rate with little to no motion blur. Also, like most of these headsets, they are using DisplayPort Alt Mode over USB-C, which is both an awesome protocol and also a little bit limiting on the devices that you can connect with. More on that later in the video. You can pick these up right now for $349 on Amazon or $449 with the Mirror Screen adapter included for universal device and smartphone compatibility. And we'll definitely talk more about this later in the video as well. Full disclosure, as usual for a review, TCL did send out the NXTWEAR S as well as the Mirror Screen for my review, but like all reviews on this channel, no money changed hands. TCL has no input over the content or production of this video, nor will they see it before it goes live on YouTube. Now, for those who don't know the terms that I'm throwing around here, that being augmented reality or head-mounted display, augmented reality is usually used for glasses that you can connect to a smartphone and interact with applications on your smartphone. That is, you can look around at multiple windows, you can multitask, you can use your phone as a pointing device, and interact with apps in a 3D space. I tend to use these glasses for heads-up displays or head-mounted displays. That is essentially putting a big-ass screen in your vision to replace the tiny screen that's either on your phone or on your laptop or handheld gaming PC. Over USB-C's DisplayPort Alt Mode, you can connect these directly to pretty much any PC that supports that protocol. That includes devices like the Steam Deck, One X Player, RayNeo, ROG Ally, and pretty much all of the gaming handhelds that have come out over the last couple of years. What you get in return is a display that fills your entire field of vision while taking up less room than the handheld itself. It makes for an awesome travel companion and the perfect thing to throw on your carry-on for an airline trip. But how do the TCL NXTWEAR S's stand up? I think we're going to start with comfort, as if they're not even comfortable to wear, you're never going to put them on your face no matter how good the display is. See Sony's attempts at head-mounted displays in the past. These are a little bit lighter than a lot of other AR glasses that I've tried on before. And you can feel the difference right on the bridge of your nose. There's not quite as much weight as there is in other glasses that I've tried, like the XREAL Air or the Rokid Airs. It's actually kind of amazing how just a couple of grams difference, a little bit better balanced in the glasses, make a massive difference overall in your perceived comfort or the perceived weight that you feel on your face. That weight savings, though, is kind of counteracted by the temples on these glasses. While these are very, very balanced, you can see I can balance them on my thumb right there. The temples are extraordinarily thick where they contact your ear, probably about twice as thick as the temples on the XREAL Air glasses. And as a result of that, they end up pushing my ears out and actually being pretty uncomfortable back here. Now, they're still fairly lightweight, but after a while, even just that amount of flex is going to make your ears hurt. And that comes from someone who wears glasses literally all the time. So believe me when I say it. In fact, if I take out the XREAL Air, you can see the difference in the temple thickness, and I'll probably get some B-roll of this as well. But yeah, the XREAL Airs are about half as thick as the temples on the TCLs. Fit and finish overall is actually quite good on the NXTWEAR S's. The plastic used does feel a little bit cheaper, and the way in which these are constructed give them a little bit more flex between parts. What I mean by that is the XREAL Airs, the temple arms are molded from a single piece of plastic with a very small cutout right here on the end, and that's the second piece of these glasses. But this is all one piece that forms this entire temple. Whereas on the TCLs, that shell extends all the way down the center of this. That means the piece overall is going to be more flexible and be thicker all the way through, as you need more attachment points as this goes along. So that's why they're a little bit thicker. But yeah, the plastics overall and the hinges on the XREAL Air feel a little bit higher quality, but it's not also quite the leap that I was expecting based on some TCL products that I've looked at in the past. So overall, pretty good, I'd say. Now, I've spent a lot of time with augmented reality headsets strapped to my face, but there's one common problem with a lot of the augmented reality headsets out there today, and it's that the angle of the headset, the angle of the glasses on your face, makes it a little difficult to see the bottom of the screen. The TCLs exhibit this issue, so do the XREAL Airs, so do the Rokid Airs that I have in my testing with those. Now, it's less of a problem on the XREAL Airs for me. I'm using the smallest nose piece on these, and they sit on my face just well enough where the bottom of the display, the bottom of the glasses, where the screen can be reflected back into your eyes, barely makes contact with the bottom edges of the display. I did purchase a pair of Rokid Air glasses about a year ago, but I never wound up making a video about them because I could never get them to sit properly on my face and be able to see the image. Nearly a third of the image was cut off no matter what angle I put the glasses on my face, no matter what nose pieces I used. Those glasses just did not fit my long and tall Western face. The TCL NXTWEAR S's, somewhere in between that experience. It's not perfect, and there is a little bit of the corner of the image that is cut off on the bottom, but it is far better than the Rokid Airs. Not quite as good as my XREALs, although my XREALs still suffer from this issue. I wish the display overall was a little bit higher up, a little bit angled out more, so I wouldn't have to push the glasses down on my face to not cut off any of the image. At the top of the video, I talked about connectivity, and I think we'll dive into that a little bit further now. Like a lot of augmented reality headsets, this does use USB-C DisplayPort Alt mode, but I'm a little less enthused about the cable that it uses. It is USB-C on the side that plugs into whatever your source is, but on the glasses side of things, it is this proprietary pogo pin magnetic plug, which means if this cable is ever lost or damaged, you are SOL until you get a replacement direct from TCL. The thing I like about the Rokid Airs and the XREAL Airs is it uses just a USB-C cable. You can use any compatible USB-C cable that can carry video signal, and you can replace the cable that came with these, which means if you're on a trip, if you took these on a plane and you're on vacation or whatever else with them, you're not dead in the water if you lose the cable or if the cable starts fraying or breaks. With these, let alone the difficulty getting a cable now, think about 2 years in the future when they're no longer making this cable. That turns your $350 headset into not even a glorified paperweight because it's too light for that. So now that we've established that you can actually wear these glasses and it's a pretty decent viewing experience, let's talk about the viewing experience itself. So let's go ahead and get these plugged in. One nice thing about the pogo pins is you can put the glasses on and then plug them into the glasses, which is kind of nice. All right, so I've got my Windows desktop up in front of me in beautiful 1080p. My first thought when putting on these glasses was they're not nearly as crisp or sharp as the XREAL Airs. I use my XREAL Airs not just for playing games and not just for watching movies. I also use them for legit working on my desktop. I've used them on a plane before for editing a video. I've written documents on them while I'm sitting here staring straight across. because the text is that good on them. The text on these glasses, it's definitely a solid step below, especially the further away that you get from the center. In the center of my display, the text is fairly readable. Blurry is not even the right word. It's like bad interpolation. It makes me question if this is actually a 1080p display or if these are 900p or 800p OLED displays that are upscaling to 1080. Without going in and trying to physically count the number of pixels on this display, it's kind of hard to confirm or deny that. But this doesn't quite feel like 1 pixel per pixel. So if you were expecting to use these for desktop use, I'd say they're a no-go, simply because you would have to scale down your resolution to probably 1366 by 768 to get your text readable. Whereas 1080p is fully readable on the XREAL Air and a couple other headsets that I've used before. Now, gaming on this headset is a completely different story. You are getting 1080p 60 Hz fed directly into your eyeballs, and it's a beautiful image with fantastic color and practically no motion blur to speak of when you're in the game. I will say, if you're looking for a gaming experience or a media playback experience, these are basically equal as far as quality goes to the XREAL Air or the Rokid Airs that I've tried before. Right now, I'm watching Jurassic World in 3D with true side-by-side 3D on here, and it looks absolutely fantastic. There are some downward-firing speakers on the temples, which again is a very common thing of a lot of these augmented reality headsets. These ones are not great. I'm just going to say it. The definition of the sound is tinny. It's very low powered. It's not very loud. You're not going to be able to use these on a plane at all. Like, you wouldn't even hear the audio from the temples on a plane. If you're going to use these, ignore the speakers altogether. Get yourself a decent set of earbuds, a Bluetooth set of headphones, something like that. Anything but the speakers built into this. They're not great. Now, as far as using these glasses, you want to use them in your bed, you want to use them sitting on the couch, you want to take them on a trip, on a plane with you. There's a couple different ways you can do that. Obviously, you've got the cable, you plug it into whatever device you want, boom, you've got a display. But how bright that display and the contrast that you get on that display is kind of up to you. You can wear the glasses naked front like this, and you can still see through them decently well, although any bright areas of your screen definitely override local sources. Staring at my monitor here, my display is completely washing out everything that I can see about the monitor. Also keep in mind that anyone looking at you can see what you're looking at. Here's my Windows desktop for a really good example. So just because it's a tiny little display and it creates a virtual screen in front of you doesn't mean your content is necessarily private. Included in the box is essentially a magnetic set of clip-on sunglasses that does a pretty decent job of darkening the outside world, but it doesn't block it entirely, and I wish it would. Like, if I'm going to keep these and use them, I might actually go take a little bit of spray paint and cover the backside of these so I can have a true blackout set of frames. That way I get the best image quality possible, the absolute best contrast on these OLED displays, and I don't have to worry about any light bleeding in from the front. Now, like I mentioned, desktop use is kind of out for me with these because they're just not sharp enough pixel to pixel. I can't read 12-point text at 1080p on these, whereas I could on some other headsets. But gaming and media playback is still amazing. In fact, while I was reviewing these, I kind of got lost watching Sin City 2, and I just kind of watched it in 3D for about an hour when I was supposed to be writing up my impressions of watching media on this headset. They really are great, and they really are immersive. And it is always fantastic when the tech just gets out of the way and lets you enjoy something. And these still do a really good job at doing that. Overall, the NXTWEAR S's from TCL are a pretty decent set of AR glasses, especially the way I use them with laptops and gaming handhelds. They do have a couple quirks, but image quality is roughly on par with the XREAL Air and the Rokid Air that I've tried before. I would, all that being said, like to see them at a lower price point, maybe $299, maybe even $279, because right now they're priced to compete with the XREAL Air and the Rokid Air at that $350 trending $400 price point. And these just aren't quite up to the same quality. They're a good set of glasses. I don't think you would be disappointed with them if you bought them. And they are far and away better than anything that's come before them from about 2 years back and later. But at $349, there are better options out there. Now, with that all being said, do not get the mirror screen universal phone and input device adapter. It is clunky, it's horribly slow. On my Apple devices, it displayed about 15 FPS and not even a steady 15 FPS. On my smartphone, it was a little bit better, but it was still lurching between 20 and 30 FPS at seemingly random. It definitely doesn't do 1080p 60. And even though it's displaying 1080p output, it's scaled from whatever screen resolution of your input device, as well as the aspect ratio of your input device. So, if you have a smartphone, which is, say, a 21:9, which a lot of smartphones are these days, you get all of the information mirrored off your phone, including the black bars on the side of your image, which actually scale down a 16:9 image to a smaller frame. You don't get to take advantage of the full 1080p display inside the glasses. Instead, you get kind of a sub-pixel rendering of it. It's not a great experience. This is a clunky and terrible add-on device. Also, it's meant for like Apple phones with magnets on the back of them, so they'll hold firm to it. And while it might hold firm to an Apple phone, it's definitely not going to hold firm to my phone with a case. And can you imagine trying to lug that around just to mirror what's on your phone? It's the stupidest idea ever. Don't get this. But like I said, I really do like what TCL brought out here in the NXTWEAR S. Had these glasses come out 2 years ago, they would have blown my mind and been the exact device that I'd been looking for so long. As it is, the market has kind of evolved to a certain point where you can get so many really good high-quality head-mounted displays to plug into your laptop, to plug into your smartphone, to plug into a gaming device. That $349 premium price point kind of sets a bar as far as what I'm expecting quality to be. And while I have nothing overly negative to say about the NXTWEAR S, it also didn't meet that quality bar almost across the board. It probably got about 85% of the way there. Good set of glasses. $349 is too expensive. If you pick one of these up for $279, you are not going to be disappointed in the least, especially if all you do is play games and watch movies. So that is the TCL NXTWEAR S. I will have a link down in the video description if you want to know where you can find those. I'll also have a link down to the XREAL Airs, which are the headset that I still recommend at $349, as well as the brand new XREAL Beam, which is the device that you should get if you want to plug in an unsupported device like a Nintendo Switch or an Android phone that doesn't have DisplayPort Alt mode. This is the way you do it. Not that. On your way down there, make sure to drop this video a like and subscribe to Craft Computing if you haven't done so already. Follow me on social media at Craft Computing, and if you like the content you see on this channel and want to help support me in what I do, consider going over to craftcomputing.store, grabbing one of our designed and made in-house pint glasses, and start drinking like a pro. Yeah, these are laser cut out in my garage. Every day, made to order. Beer not included. That's going to do it for me in this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Cheers, everyone. Oh, God, that's good. The weather outside is changing, so I figured I would change up the beer a little bit today as well. We've got from ROG Brewing over in Newport, Oregon, the Neon Snowpocalypse Imperial Cold Brew IPA. Clocking in, I believe it's 9%. No, 8.2. 8.2%, 50 IBU. On rare occasions, as if by a stroke of frosty fate, a blizzard so fierce rains from the sky, bringing with it an unimaginable cold. Some say fight fire with fire, so we say fight cold with cold. This Imperial Cold IPA is an abominable beast that features crisp hoppy bite with undeniable notes of tropical and citrus fruits that will guide you by neon glow through the harshest of winter storms. Will the end of all things be filled with a fluorescent snow and a fire-breathing snow beast? Maybe. Could a single freak snowstorm change the course of history? It did for us. So if you've never had a ROG beer before, they're most famous for their Dead Guy Ale. They always include this star of tastiness, or tasting notes in the shape of a star, to tell you if a beer is tropical, citrusy, piney, bitter, or malty as far as IPAs go. I don't know if I've ever seen them go all the way out and have citrus or even just one of the points be fully filled in. But there you go. Citrus bomb with a lot of tropical and a lot of pine. And it looks fantastic in this glass from craftcomputing.store. This is one of my favorite wintertime beers that ROG puts out. And I'm really excited because it came out in like early October this year. This is the 4th can in a 4-pack that I bought of it. And it's just that good. What's really funny about this beer is as bright and citrusy and a little bit floral leading as the flavor profile of this beer is. The head and the aromatics are actually kind of subdued. Like, you really gotta dig if you want to smell this beer. You can smell the can pretty easily, but once that head is on it, the aromatics are basically gone. So it's a really interesting experience if you don't know this beer and you just take a sip blindly of it. You're gonna get punched in the face. Oh man, but when you do get punched, if you love, and I mean love, hazy IPAs. Everyone talks about the Alchemist as being the godfather of hazy IPAs. If that's the godfather, this is the godmother of hazy IPAs. This thing is a bold, bright, citrusy bomb without going acidic. It doesn't eat away at your throat and burn. It's not like eating waffle fries where you cut the roof of your mouth every time you eat them, which everyone I know does, but you still go back and eat more, and I don't know why. But this is just fantastic. I love this beer. 10 out of 10, no comments.